must be some way to disorient Godzilla.
Godzilla versus King Kong. It's a good movie. Good movies. Kong in general, Godzilla. Yeah. I love stuff like this. AVP, Alien vs. Predator, Freddy vs. Jason. I love matchups. I love when you take two titans, literally, these two powerhouses, and just clash them together. What do you get? I mean, you can find stuff like that dime a dozen. There's always... It's just a fun thing to do. Just a fun little project to put together. But it's always usually so much of a personal, intimate thing. Like, what are you biased towards? Are you even worried about all the data and all that? And but blockbuster theaters having these things really reach that top kind of production value. Now, that's pretty cool. Just the fact that like things like this can even get that far and get to this place where it can be a lot more distributed and put out. Hell, there's even Sadako versus God, what's her name? Ring versus Grudge. That one's interesting. It's things like that movie that really surprised me. Like, definitely a lot more underrated than bigger stuff like this. But it's just fun because you're like, the whole movie, you're sitting there, God, who's gonna win? And are you Team Kong, Team Godzilla? I'm more Team Kong. I've always loved Godzilla, the old one, especially the Matthew Broderick one. It's just like what I grew up with. It's funny because a lot of people don't like that one, but that's my favorite. It's more entertaining, fun, and very 90s and 2000s or whatever the heck. I think it came out in 2000? I don't know. Either way, I'm just like, dude, I don't know what this guy is, but he's so cool and big. That was my first introduction to all this. I didn't get into King Kong until Peter Jackson. Like, I was never into like the older stuff, both Kong and Godzilla. That stuff's a little before my time, and I tried getting into at the very least, the older Godzillas, because I was like, hey, they're infamous and popular for a reason, but ooh. It's just too goofy. I can't do it. Guys in suits, and it's just, I don't know, man. It's only really gonna pertain to that kind of old B-movie type personalities, whatever. But this modern stuff is so cool. It's so cool seeing like these things bigger than life and bigger, because I've never really been in a big city before either, so there's also that curiosity and fascination. But the fact that these mega structures, these superstructures, these tallest buildings in the world and Empire State Building, all these things, the fact that there could be something alive that's that big, bigger, smaller, it's just so cool. It's the same thing with dinosaurs. Like, what could that be like? And if they were around today in Jurassic Park, and And for someone that's only been to a zoo like once ever, and they were like a kid, I don't remember much, but just to see these exotic animals and these beasts and these, I love cryptids, and they're kind of under that paranormal type thing, and just very unnatural and but very possible, and history and culture and what could it have been like back then in the day where there's like no technology and just people and all living things and creatures, and it's so much more natural and organic. I wasn't there back then. I don't know. I can't time travel. You know, and even though there's mythology and all this stuff, zoology and cryptology, and these things could have been around. I don't know. And you can only trust the history books and stuff so much too. So did anything get suppressed? That's what this is all about. I love this modern new take on this. It's so much more in depth and more detail and goes deeper, and monarch, and it's very conspiracy and secretive, and it goes right under aliens and Area 51. It's just so cool. I just love it. It's just a fun thing. You know, theories and kaiju, and the fact that it's tied to anime in Japan, and then you got Kong, this more westernized but not quite, and apes and humans and evolution, and God, there's just so much. It's so much more than just like two big things, random created monsters by someone drawn on a piece of paper, and now they're on a movie, and there's so much more to it, and I love how deep it can go, and the research and the kind of references and nods to all the things that surround it and make up what it is, and the bigger picture and the pieces. But you can tell, like, the people that made this just had a fun time. Like, it wasn't just Kong, it wasn't just Godzilla, it was both, and they got to just kind of have fun with it and go all out. And is there a winner at the end? Are they equal? Does it matter? No matter what kind of team you're on, are you rooting for the other one that you didn't expect? Are you rooting for both? I don't know, it's just cool. Especially in theaters, like, man, it's probably about, especially nowadays, the only thing I'll probably really bother with is something of that nature, where it's just so, you really get to make use of that screen size, and I can't imagine like IMAX or something, because you really want that scale, you want to know. And I know they try hard in the movies, but it's a tough thing to do. It can be done well. Godzilla -1, for example. But you really got to get that perfect shot and angle of like, wow, these things, I'm like this big, and this thing is like... Because it's, the truth of the matter is we are small, and we're just little ants, and then you think about the Earth and the universe and how little we really are, and you're like, well, what else is out there? What else is here? What else is below us? What else is above us? And a movie just like this answers all those questions. It gives you, really sparks that imagination, that creativity. Gosh, there's so much to unpack. I love it. I could just consume this kind of stuff like all day, every day. And that's exactly what this is too, is just, it's not trying to do like a solo story, like, because it's just been done so many times for so long that, I mean, finally they're just like, fuck it, let's just, who cares? And everything got there at some point. These really big iconic franchises that have been out for a while, 80s, 70s now, whatever, however far back stuff like this goes, you know, it goes back a while. But it's come a long way. The graphics, well, you call it graphics? CGI, computer graphics, whatever, CG. It's just dope. Who doesn't love a good monster movie, especially them fighting and it's in the title and it's official, and because you're always gonna expect something like that somewhere. Cloverfield, like okay, there's monsters and they're big, but what is it? Humans versus creature? Is it monster versus monster? What are we doing? But this is very clear and defined, like, hey, this is, you know exactly what you're coming for, what to expect. Do you want it? Yes, no. We're gonna give it to you. Boom, here you go, they're done. You're welcome. It's beautiful. I like Kong because he's more like down to earth and grounded and relatable, and obviously because, you know, we don't even technically come from apes per se, but it's kind of it's a mix up. But yeah, you're gonna probably be he's more sympathetic, he's more apathetic, his emotion, he's more human, he's got personality and character, and he's the one you want to root for. And especially, man, Peter Jackson's, I cried when at the end. It's not really much of a spoiler. I mean, like, dude, these movies, Kong's story has been around for so long. It's nothing's changed. Same with Godzilla. They can always be done in different ways, different versions, variations, and additions, and reboots, and all that, remake, whatever. I just felt so bad for him. You spend so much time with him, getting to know who he is, and he's such a big cuddly bear, and you wish he was your pet, you wish he was your friend. Big, like the guy in Rampage, the ape in Rampage, or the Mighty Joe Young, and the gorillas in George of the Jungle. And never really gotten to Planet of the Apes, but he really speaks for all of that because he's the dominant force. He's the guy. He's like your cool uncle if he was hairy and walked on his knuckles. And he reminds me of the monkeys in Tarzan, and there's just so much there. You want to see him win, you want to see him do well, you want to see him happy and peaceful and just living his life and getting by and surviving, and in a world full of just little people trying to always get in on his stuff, and you want to see him succeed and win. And because when you're that big of a guy, and you know, there's always going to be something that's jealous and tries to take you down a peg and challenge you, and because, oh, we all gotta be, you know, God or something. And I guess, yeah, when I say it like that, that's where Godzilla comes in. Is he is the man, he is the alpha overall, the reptile, the alligator lizard thing. Then you think of reptilians, then you think of snakes and crocodiles and lizards, and you know, Godzilla's got more combat experience, I would say. But Kong is so big and buff and brute and strong, and then Godzilla's more. He's got claws and sharp. You got like blunt versus blade. There's so many ways to kind of look at it. It's really interesting. I think Godzilla kind of cheats though with his little laser beam, but a little. But hey, Kong finds a way. He manages, he perseveres, and I don't know, I just love it because they're so similar but so different. You're taking a mix and a fusion of these two very similar things, but so they do so well when they contrast together. And it's a very humanistic kind of thing because it's like, well, we're all human, but we're also different. Individuality and being individuals and differences. And I mean, the fact that these two can go head to head and challenge each other and test each other's strength. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're enemies either. It's, can they become friends? Afterwards, can they just fight it out? You know, get along. These are all the things you wonder and want and wish for. And because, you know, when you start worrying about the details and the micro focusing and, oh, this guy's, you know, 1 billion pounds and the other guy's 1.1 billion, and that's just where it gets weird because, like, dude, first of all, they're not real. They're not. Just have fun with it. It's not fun when you get to this kind of edutainment kind of thing because it's just too statistical and it's too data and it's too analytical and it takes all the fun out of it. It's just, what do you want? What do you think? What do you wish for? What outcome do you see? And that's where the appeal really comes in, is who are you more biased towards? Are you more, you got a big heart like Kong? Well, Godzilla's a good guy too. I mean, they're both destructive and all these things, but I mean, really, they're protectors and guardians. But you know, or are you more evil or badass? You know, can you relate to Godzilla more? And but then you're thinking like, okay, Godzilla's went head to head with Ghidorah and blah blah blah, and he's got a girlfriend, Mothra. But Kong's like, he's close to the little girl, but he's just close to humans in general, especially chicks, which I think is hilarious. But he can also be your bro, but so can Godzilla. He can be, you know, you look into their eyes and they're alive and they have ears and noses and they're biological things. And that's what connects us, and that's what we have in common, and that's what we share. And but then you think of like Mechagodzilla, which, okay, I don't know, I've just always appreciated more Kong. I've always loved him more. I've always felt for him and emotionally, and but to be fair, I felt the similar way with Godzilla. At least his older one. I don't know about now. Now he's all big and bulky and buff, and it's just kind of weird. His proportions are, I don't know. I liked him when he was skinny and sleek, and or her. More mobile and more He wasn't so big and slow. Like now he's just, they're so focused on the fact that he's just this big immovable force. And I mean, granted, the Godzilla we have now is a lot more true to its source material, but that doesn't matter. Okay, the fact that he got away with the older movie is just so much more charming and fun and entertaining and good and heartfelt, and now he's just kind of a blank slate, and he just kind of exists. He doesn't really do much of anything. He doesn't really, like, he comes when he's needed. He's sleeping, he's eating, he's just chilling. But ultimately he's just, I don't know. I mean, he's definitely supposed to be the cooler, edgier. I mean, they did kind of do him dirty to make him into a more of a bad guy. So, I mean, yeah, you're gonna look at Kong even more as a good guy, the hero. You're gonna look at Kong as, buddy, chill. But all in all, you know, at the end of the day, they're both still really, they're just really cool. And they're animals, and we're animals, and I don't know, just imagine if they could talk. Just imagine if they were people, and what would they say and feel. And being an outcast and being bigger, they're freaks. They stand out and they don't fit in, and there's always someone, I don't know. It's animal cruelty. It's no different than poaching, and you know, you feel bad. It raises the question, like, who's the real bad guy here, us or them? It's usually us every time. I mean, and it's kind of funny how stories like that happen to work out, as whether it's aliens or whatever, ghosts or just demons, you always feel more for them than us. So it does kind of raise that question, like, I think we're kind of sus. But I mean, obviously it's storytelling, but it's kind of true. I don't know how to feel about that. Cause it's like, dude, they live here too, man, and for all we know, they were here before us, and we're just kind of this virus and cancer, and takes over the planet and builds buildings and ruins our habitats. And I know people are trying to be good at that, and but to be fair, I mean, it's not all bad. Like, we make a lot of buildings and stuff, but it comes from the ground, comes from Earth in some aspect or another. If not, it comes from some other rock 1,000 miles into the sky. it's aliens and stuff. That's where it gets a little weird, because, but granted, we still live in the same universe, in the same galaxy, so it's all one and the same. This movie's kind of sad because it's like, guys, why are you fighting? Can't we just get along? Can't we just hang out and be friends? And I know it's all action packed and, oh yeah. But really, you just want to see him have a beer, have a cold one. Just sit together and have a nice adult beverage. Yeah, I like the older Godzilla. I like the modern-ish King Kong. I didn't really get into the animated stuff. I tried, it wasn't good. I have a King Kong game in my backlog. There's another King Kong game I really want to get, but I don't know if the price is right. I know there's like a Godzilla board game. Which that game was weird because it had the Godzilla's original theme in it, and I was like, what the hell is this music, dude? But then I didn't actually know it was like his official theme song. It's so good though. I'm sure there's more Godzilla and Kong games I just don't really know about, but throughout the years they could have, who knows how old they are. But as far as like modern day accessible, yeah, I'm not really excited for the Kong game because I know it's gonna be pretty bad. But obviously, both between the two of them, their strengths really lie in their movies. Obviously, not the shows, not the games, not. But yeah, the one unfortunate thing, well, both Kong and the one thing I don't like about the Kong movies now is the little girl. Okay, she's tribal. I kind of like that. I like the connection, their spiritual thing going on. But then you got that lady reinforcing her. The casting is so strange. I don't like the girl in the Kong ones and the mom. I never got into Stranger Things. I like the mom from Conjuring or whatever, Insidious and all that. I don't even know. I like the mom figure in Kong, but from like other stuff. I don't know, it's just like seeing them all together and thinking about all the casting. You just have like the most average, plain, simple people in the world trying to be, you know, but people don't watch Kong and Godzilla for them. And it's almost like that's why they're so where they are, is because it's like they're just there because they have to be there, because it can't just be all monsters, right? We gotta have people and stars and casting and actors, and it's like, ugh, God. We just want to give Godzilla and Kong full screen time. But that's kind of my point too, is like these modern versions are so good, but the casting is so bad. But then you have the older movies with Matthew and Godzilla and what's his, and Jean Reno or whatever his name is, and a Japanese dude, Gojira. Then you got Kong with Naomi Watts and Jack Black, and just, oh my God, those movies are so good. What happened? Granted, those movies back then, around that time, they were way too damn good. Like, yeah, now, in place of how good things are, it's about how well they look and how the CGI and the only good thing that's come out of anything is the technology. But hey, that's fine. Yeah, there's not much else to it. It's exactly what you'd expect. Just two big fuckers hitting each other and fighting, and it's kind of cool, but I think it is something that, you know, you see it once, you've seen it all. I don't know, I think it should have just got left alone, but I love that there's still kind of, I watched the Godzilla show, and what is it called? Monarch? Apple something. Yeah, I just love it. Hey, I want more Kong, I want more Godzilla, but maybe just like individually. Because Freddy vs. Jason, they only got the one, and AVP, well, they got two, but Requiem, I think. But it's kind of the same thing with all those two, as it's all up here. It's all like, hey, we've spent so much time watching these guys as their own thing, and it does get a little messy when you put them together and kind of chaotic, but it still works really well, so there's nothing really to complain about there. But yeah, I think it would be just good to, and that's kind of what's been happening. That's where I hope it'll still continue to go, is like, hey, let's just branch off, take a step back, take a breather. Just go back to how good it was. Or at least try. And there's always room for improvement, there's always potential, there's always possibility, so let's learn from these things and just get better and be better. But regardless, it's still just a fun movie and definitely worth a couple hours. It's a good you time. If you're a fan of not only Kong and Godzilla or it's just gonna be a good time. And the cool thing about this is it really pertains to that very specific kind of thing versus, oh, I have a good time when I watch this, or I feel something when I watch this. It's always gonna be different. But it's all those things that kind of make up that core of who you are, and I don't know. I did play a kaiju dating game too, which is interesting. It's called Kaiju. Pretty much was like a girl Godzilla, and you're like dating other kaiju in other parts of the world. It's kind of funny. One of them was very Mothra. Man, I always wanted one of those Godzilla cups. I know my cousins and stuff used to have one. I love the font too, the green. God, it was just so cool. There's nothing. It's probably my favorite depiction of Godzilla, hands down. You just don't get movies like that anymore, but what we have is fine. We get to see and watch these movies in our lifetime and just kind of enjoy it, and we trust these people who are making it, and it's their job and they know what they're doing. As a consumer and a viewer and all that, I'm more than happy. So yeah, Godzilla vs. Kong.